Hello, my name is Jack Parsons with K&P Contracting Limited. First, Jenna told me I wasn't allowed to do this, although she was overdoing it. And then she said, well, you can't do a video unless you shave first. But anyway, all that be it. It's not about how I look, clean face or whatever. It's about the information that I'm going to put in this video. I've been asked a question many a time, especially in training sessions when we're doing technical training, especially with the Better Built House and building science, about what's the best way to insulate a basement floor in an existing house. And I always answer the question, first thing that I keep in mind is safety. So when you look at safety, you look at it from the homeowner's perspective. What is the safest thing to do? And when it comes to basement floors, the safest thing to do is not to insulate them. And let me explain why. The reason to insulate is to give you some cost benefits and savings during the winter time. Well, that saving is so small that it turns out to be negligible. And then the other thing is, it adds a bit of comfort because it'll warm the floor up a little bit. Well, that can be offset by the summer, because in the summertime, your basement can get natural cooling if you don't insulate on top of your slab. So that's a positive. And in terms of keeping a little bit of comfort, a rug or a mat can do that. The problem that we have, and when I say we, there was a bunch of us that were teaching through Canada Mortgage and Housing, their indoor air quality session. And when you look at basement floors, it's important that the concrete slab be at room temperature, because if it goes down to the ground temperature, which is usually around 44 degrees Fahrenheit, what happens is if you happen to spill something, or for example like your cat pees on the floor, your dog pees on the floor, or your cat is drinking a little drop of milk and it spills over onto the floor, and that gets down and hits the cold concrete and is isolated between the cold concrete and the finished floor with some insulation. When it gets down there, it's locked, and because of the temperature and the darkness and all the other things, it promotes mold growth, and that mold growth is something that causes a significant problem as it relates to indoor air quality. Now, most basements are places where you go to relax. And when you go to relax, meaning that if you got a rec room down and you're sitting down for 3 or 4 hours and you're just enjoying some company or having a beer or watching TV, well, you can feel tired if the indoor air quality or the quality of the air inside that room is not to the same degree that it should be. The other thing is if you got a bedroom down there and you're sleeping down there and the indoor air quality goes down because of mold locked underneath that insulation and on top of the slab, well, you're not going to sleep very well. You're going to end up to be tired and lazy and awkward because you didn't get a good night's sleep. So it is important that the first premise that you take into mind when you're doing these things is indoor air quality. That's what I always say. And then looking at it from the other perspectives, like I said, there's negligible amount of energy savings that you get, but is enormous as it relates to indoor air quality. So put that first and foremost, and that's basically what I say to people. So, doing a new house is completely different, and we'll probably do a video on that separately because I'll get convoluted to do it here. But to recap, the best way to insulate a basement floor in a finished house is not to. And you put your finished floor right on top of it, be it ceramic, be it laminate flooring or carpets. And a lot of people use laminates today. Well, a laminate with a little mat will give you your comfort and will still ensure that you got good indoor air quality. So again, in most of the things that you're doing in your house, if you're looking for a solution, always pick the solution that errs on the side of safety. And indoor air quality, for sure, is a safety matter. And as I said, we've done a lot of calculations on basement floors, how much energy savings you get, and it really is negligible, but then you get the benefit of the cooling. It is really nice in the summertime and it's August the 14th, and the temperature out that night is 27 degrees, and it's really warm in the house, and you go down to your rec room and you just relax, and now it's 22 degrees. It's so nice and cool because you get that natural cooling from the ground. So there's positives to it, and just to reiterate, two positives: natural cooling and indoor air quality. So with that, we'll say goodbye, and until the next time, Jack Parsons from K&P Contracting, answering your technical questions. And just to reiterate, if you do have a question, and Janet coordinates our YouTube channel, so if you just send us the question, I'll do my best to be able to answer it, and with all the backup information, not just to give you the answer, but give you the logic and the reasoning behind it. Okay, thank you very much, and until the next time.